welcome to another episode of What's That All About? So, today we're going to be looking at HAARP. I'm not sure if you've heard of it. I have heard of it, not really familiar with it. There's of course, conspiracy theories swirling around it, and there's kind of a lot to unpack here. So, when it comes to HAARP, which is the High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program, and it's located in Gacona, Alaska. Now, I'm going to start off by saying that the military, they built it, mostly the Air Force, built it for about $290 million. And they did that to conduct ionospheric research related to communications, navigation, surveillance, and more. It's that last one. That's the one that tends to throw up the conspiracy theories and red flags and whatnot. And I'll get to that in a couple minutes. But in 2015, the Air Force actually ended their program and turned it over to the University of Alaska in Fairbanks. However, the Air Force still comes in sort of whimsically and takes over for their own interests and for private clients and such to conduct their own agenda items or their own clandestine, maybe, who knows, but that's another red flag. That's where people start to get suspect of what they're doing, because honestly, the university can't really control that. If the Air Force comes in or another group comes in that's from the military, they take precedent over whatever they're working on. It's according to the Air Force, Geophysical Institute Director Bob McCoy said that they're charging over 5,000, like for these private clients that the Air Force works with, they charge these clients 5,000 an hour, okay, to use the facility. But they haven't had many hours requested. Can you imagine why? $5,000 an hour? Holy shnikes. But in 2021, the Air Force landed a $9.3 million grant for 5 years that came from the National Science Foundation, which is big bucks. This will enable also the university to maintain the HAARP facility, and of course let them whimsically come in, like I said before, to do whatever they want whenever they want. The HAARP station is the most powerful of 3 ionospheric research facilities on the planet. Only 3 of them. So that's pretty cool. I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of digressing, but I think this place is really not what everyone in the conspiracy world thinks it is. I think it's an easy target, because when there's millions of dollars thrown at something and big corporations or big entities like the military are involved in any way, shape, or form, they are going to be under that microscope. It's just the nature of the business, as I see it anyway. Now, according to my research and Alaska Public Media, it uses hundreds of high-frequency radio transmitters and antennas to probe the ionosphere, which is the layer of the Earth's atmosphere that extends between 50 to 600 miles above the surface of the Earth. And, I'm going to take a detour here. This is the darker side, and this is where the ideas and theories through skeptics' eyes start to generate. According to an article in Popular Mechanics, the conspiracy theorists believe that HAARP causes an increase in lightning across the world, which somehow then leads to earthquakes. They're even trying to blame the ones that happened in Turkey and in Syria as related to HAARP. I'm not seeing that. A lot of people seem to want to connect to that, and they also want to connect other natural disasters, saying that the United States or its global partners can place undue influence on all other natural events. And it's interesting that on the flip side of this theory, scientists say there's just, not only can HAARP not do this, but it can't impact weather patterns, and it has nothing to do with earthquakes. And I mean, I know it doesn't sound very scientific. It sounds like they're and I say there, like the scientists' reasoning behind their counterpoint is, nah, you're wrong. And that's not really that scientific, but you know. Now it's if you tell me this sounds like they're attempting to normalize something that maybe this one area could be a little strange, okay? This was a quote. With a facility like HAARP, it is possible to perform an experiment at will to create plasma structures and irregularities to use in the ionosphere, like an antenna, to excite low frequency waves, creating weak, luminous, aurora like glows in a variety of the experiments. There's a lot of words in there that make people go ding, ding, ding. Irregularities, creating these structures within the ionospheric part of the sky. That's where people get suspect. And I can understand that. You know, I'm just a layperson, right? I wouldn't understand it even if they tried to describe it to me in scientific terms. But um, another reason, the conspiracy theories swirl around HARP is the fact that, while the Air Force was involved in most of the construction, it also involved the Navy and the Department, the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, or DARPA. DARPA's got its own sleeve long conspiracy theories attached to it as well. But the worst theory, honestly, that's out there is that there's a mind control aspect to it, to HARP. And I don't know. In 2016, in an attempt to dispel all these crazy ideas, they had something of an open house at the station. And it says the spokesperson said, "We hope that people will be able to see the actual science of it. We hope to show people that it is not capable of mind control and not capable of weather control and all the other things that it's been accused of." Um, it's one of those things where you can really run away with it. I don't know what you think about it, but I'm actually more off the fence on the side of it's just a legitimate, program and facility that does exactly what they're saying they're doing, studying the ionospheric atmosphere. I think that's a very important study, and it's probably very expensive, hence the millions being thrown at it. But I don't understand. I think the more conspiracy part of it would come from the military side of it, not from the scientists who are working there, like from the University of Alaska. But that's just my opinion. Would love to hear your thoughts. And until next time, I hope you are staying happy and healthy and stay weird and take care. Bye.